Coming to you live from Denver, Colorado. This is the morning edition of Chiro Hustle live stream. And I have the esteemed ad master of Facebook ads, Dr. Shawn Andrews, and he's coming from Mankato, Minnesota. I just wanted to introduce Shawn and let him talk a little bit about his Facebook ads mastery program and what it might be able to do for you. So Dr. Shawn, will you just go ahead and enlighten everyone on what you're doing with Facebook ads and how you might be able to help them?
So thanks for having me, Jim. It's a pleasure to be here. You're one of my favorite non-chiropractic people in the profession. Probably one of my favorite people in the profession, period. You don't even have to be a chiropractor. I'm not going to qualify that. I love me some Jim Chester, that's for sure. So what I do is I'm a chiropractor. I'm still in full-time practice down here in Mankato, Minnesota. We have a pretty busy family-oriented practice. We take a lot of care of a lot of kids and pregnant women. My wife has an ICPA certification. I have it by proxy. Morning, Rob. Good to see you on there. Nice. Very cool.
Morning.
We, that's our clinic. And, I used to do a lot of spinal screening, which is great. It's phenomenal. Jim does a lot of spinal screenings, but, I have 5 kids and 1 more on the way. So I'm not really wanting to spend all day at the mall every week on the weekends, if you do a mall show, you can get new patients, but I got to be there like 30 hours. Whenever the mall's open, you're there at those booths. So a while back, I decided, maybe there's something to this online thing. Maybe my management company at the time wasn't quite right. So what we did was I started experimenting. I started experimenting with Facebook ads. I do a little bit with Google AdWords, mainly in AdWords Express. But Facebook ads was the thing that I started experimenting with. Trial and error, wasted some money, wasted some time, like everybody. Took some courses from very knowledgeable people. Excuse me. And I actually attend. I'm probably one of the few people that actually attends digital marketing summits. There was just a big one up in the Twin Cities in September. There was like 1,000 actual digital marketers there from across all professions. And I was there learning and boning up and getting new ideas to do that. So Facebook is a great way to get new patients. And it does take effort. It does take time. I mean, it's not like you set it and forget it, but it's a lot less effort and a lot less time than being out and doing a screening. So go ahead.
I was going to ask you a couple questions. Like, what have you seen as some of the successes for some of the offices that you work with that are in your course?
So I have one person that's in the course. He just started doing his own dinner with the doc. We threw up a little guide for him to do the dinner with the doc. He took that and ran and did his own targeting and stuff. And he ended up getting, I think it was 8 new patients from his first one. His second one, same thing, got 8 new patients. That's 16 new patients in a month. That's more than a lot of offices see their entire month from 2 events. I've got a doctor down in the Dallas area that gets routinely 15 to 16 new patients from his dinner with the doc events. We use Facebook to get people butts in the seats, and then he converts them over. So we're seeing a lot of event marketing and goodwill marketing are the 2 big things that are working really well on Facebook right now.
And what have you seen some of the challenges that people have had to go through over the time to get success with your system?
The biggest challenges are finding the time to do it and following through. Chiropractors, I love you, but you're horrible at following through, and you're very prone to the shiny object syndrome, or squirrel syndrome, as I like to say. But once they find the time to do it, then it's just about, with the course helps you to get things approved, because Facebook can be very picky about what they approve and what they don't approve. You can't say certain words, like the word you, right? Why would that be a problem? But it's a problem. So the course really helps them get over a lot of those issues with getting things approved, getting their things shut down. So the biggest struggles, honestly, is just finding the time to do it and sticking with it long enough to get good at it.
Yeah, I would agree too. I think that a lot of times if we just have a better structure around what we're doing, and we can then attribute our time properly. If we put it on our calendar, then we do it. If it's one of those things that's on a checklist that's kind of floating around on some sticky note, like one of these things that I have like stuff to do, chances are if it's on like my digital calendar, it gets done. If it's on one of these little boys, it's more challenging for me to get to. What's up, Dan McCoy? Thanks for joining us today, man. Dan's always helpful in the chirosphere, doing great referrals and great connections. I mean, that guy he's invaluable to the chiropractic profession. So thanks for being on this morning with us.
Nope, he's a giver, and I like that.
Hey, and any chance I get to send him anybody that he can help, I'm always thinking about. He's always top of the mind for what he's done for me so far. So
right,
that's always impressive to have somebody like that in the family.
Yep, I agree.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I poke fun at chiropractors for having shiny object syndrome, but yesterday morning in the practice, I had a little downtime to work on the business, which is a good thing. You want time to work on the business instead of just hustling and seeing patients. I found myself doing the same thing. I'm like, well, I can work on this, or what I was doing was I was putting off the thing that made me a little uncomfortable. I was putting off scheduling that lunch and learn. I was putting off scheduling that workshop. So don't worry, I'm prone to it too. But if it makes you uncomfortable, that's your sign. Get after it, get it done, because that's probably going to be the thing that's going to move you forward the most, right?
Yeah, getting yourself to the edge of discomfort. Like for me, it was asking for help. Right. It was asking somebody to join my team other than Luke, and it was asking for somebody to and figure out how to make that happen. And the hardest thing for me is to ask somebody to start doing what I'm used to doing. And for me, I can't tell you how much time I spend repurposing content. Like that's one of the strong suits of the hands I play is I am on all channels. I think I repurposed to like 16 different like levels of like push. Right. So, doing that alone is very cumbersome, not just creating the content, but pushing the content. Yep. And, getting help to do those type of things, I think is vital to getting to the next level.
Yep. And exactly. And that's one of the things I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get uncomfortable. And I have no problem hiring staff for my clinic, but hiring staff for my agency, my Facebook ads agency that I'm going to start growing again, that makes me uncomfortable. It really does. Finding that right person to do it, trusting them to do it the correct way, that does make me a little uncomfortable. So, and the same thing with Facebook marketing. If you're not comfortable doing it, I bet there's somebody that you can either hire or somebody on your team that can help you carry the load. So it's all about delegating as much as you can as well too.
Yeah, but you want to be everywhere, so you're top of mind on all platforms. Because I found that I have a different following on Pinterest than I have a different following on when I'm and I have a different following on Instagram to whichever group I'm running in the car on Facebook. Like there's a different following and a different tribe on all different platforms. Yep. So if you're not out there, mixing and being social on social, like I like to say, then you're losing some of the following of your tribe. So one of my tips is I would recommend diversifying your market push to where you're getting into more platforms.
And I would add to that too, something that I haven't done enough of in my own clinic is online, but get out there and meet people offline, meet referral partners potentially. I'm going to a meeting on Thursday night of a bunch of doulas and midwives here in my community, birthing professionals. I'm going to go reach out to a person. They have one of these. I don't know if you've seen these float pods. Have you seen those?
Oh yeah. There was I just did a health fair last weekend, and there was a. It was actually on Thursday I went to, but there was a float spa, and I actually got good reviews from those. Like I was told that I should go do that.
But that's the real magic is that people like you and me, we love the social, we love the online, we love sitting behind the computer, right? But we still got to get our butts out in the community and meld that together, right? So that's the thing is, diversify your platforms, but get out of your office and meet people in your community too.
So let's add another value add to people. And I know our Chiro Hustle podcast, which was episode 14, we covered some of the things you talked about with Facebook ads mastery. And we talked a little bit about what it means to get referrals. And tell a little bit about why you get referrals and how it's helped your practice.
Referrals are just huge. I mean, that's your best That's your best new customer. It's the cheapest to acquire because all you have to do to get a referral is be yourself and deliver really good value to your current patients. So referrals, we just take really good care of people. We treat them like they want to be treated. We treat them like family. We stay on time, and we just take really good. We're upfront about money. So those are just the things that really help us get lots of referrals. And I think the other thing you want to touch on was online reviews.
Yes, online reviews.
Yep. So we have a couple.
Stacy tells me I look like I'm on fire.
You do. You look like you've been in the sun a little bit too much, Jim. I don't. I'm not sure what the problem was there, but
I pushed my light back just a little bit.
It's actually worse now, Jim, to be honest. This isn't Jim. This is Satan possessed Jim. He's a little red in the face.
All right.
There, that's better. You gotta lean forward, lean into it. There you go. But anyway, see, squirrel. That was a squirrel moment.
And I look shiny. Maybe I'm the bright, shiny object.
Yeah. So anyway, there's two main ways that we get online reviews. We have something called Demand Force, which I highly recommend for a lot of different clinics. It helps you get online reviews. We've got like 145 through that alone, which is huge. Good morning, Chris. Good to see you there, bud. And then the other thing is that Demand Force will help you send out automated text and email reminders. So that's huge. Takes a lot of the work off of your staff to confirm appointments, and people love them. They show up. They talk all the time about how much they love those text messages for their appointment reminders. So Demand Force is one. And then the second one is it's a kind of a thing that I kind of came up with. It does end up costing about $1,000 a year to do this program, but I think it's well worth it. And what we do is we actually give away an iPad mini every quarter. So every 3 months, we're giving away an iPad mini. You get a refurbished one on Amazon for about $250. And that isn't our incentive to do a lot of things in the office. We actually incentivize people every time they check in that they're here for an appointment, they get an entry into that drawing. Every time they refer in a friend, they get 5 or 10, I can't remember what the number is, entries into that drawing for the iPad. And then at certain times, like usually closer to the end of the quarter, I'll send out an email blast and say, hey, for this week only, if you leave us a Google review, you get 10 extra entries. If you leave us a Facebook review, you get 10 extra entries. You could throw Yelp in there if you wanted to. Yelp's just not a real big thing in my market right now. And that is a big way that we end up getting lots of free traffic, because every time somebody checks in that they're here, all their friends see it. You don't have to pay for that. It's great social proof. And then we also get lots of online reviews. I think we're up to 60 Facebook reviews and 38 Google reviews. Google reviews are just a little harder to leave. You got to log in and do certain things. But yeah, so we've gotten tons of reviews using those two ways.
And, I know a lot of people look at the world as kind of scary when they start doing marketing. What would you encourage somebody with if they just wanted to start doing some marketing, if they wanted to get on digital marketing or, doing local, like you said, get out and meet and greet type things? What would you suggest to people to be able to do that type of thing and to actually start?
For digital marketing, I would say the biggest thing is find somebody that you can know, that you like and trust, somebody that understands the profession, somebody that isn't just a fly-by-night and they took a course once and they think they can market for chiropractors online. Find somebody that you know, like and trust, like a Chris Burfield or like a Billy Sticker or myself. We are the people that are training docs and even sometimes doing the ads for doctors out there. So vet these people. And then that I don't know, Dan, about in Demand Force and Platinum. I'm Easy Biz, so I'm not sure about that. So those are the big things. Don't try to do it yourself. Learn from somebody that's already learned and done it. And I for one, I'm biased. I think I got a pretty great program going on where I either teach doctors how to do it or I just do it for them.
Yeah, and I've done your program and I recommend it highly to people. And if people are interested in jumping onto your platform and learning from you or having you do some work with them, how can they do that?
So the easiest way to find out about the program where you learn and to do it yourself is just go to the inspiredchiropractor.com, and there's a Facebook Ads Mastery Academy button. Click on that, and it'll take you to the page that talks all about that. It's $97 for the course. It's a heck of a steal. It's a really ton of value. Actually, I'm going to probably be changing that price very, very soon here. So
get in while you can.
Yes, exactly. And then make sure you get the group support, because that's where we can do the updates. That's where we do extra trainings. That's where we troubleshoot, because no matter how good a training is, things change and things are different in your market and for your targeting. So, and you have to keep up to date on those. So that's where that comes in handy. That's $97 per month for that right now. So once again, in the next month or so, that's going to be changing how we deliver that and the pricing for that. But it's still really good value right now for sure. And then if you want to do any agency work, so if say you're a doctor that's doing phenomenal in practice and you just want to get better, you want to get more new patients, you want to get people to your events, and just raise your top of mind awareness and get some leads after that, is just look me up on Facebook. I'm Shawn Andrews. You can't miss me. I'm the bald guy with the big beard. And shoot me a private message, and we can talk more about the agency side of things.
Well, since I met you, Shawn, you've been an ambassador to the profession, and you've done nothing but add more value to people's lives. And you're very humble in your approach, but you are a rock star, and you're helping so many people with your content and how you deliver your systems to people. So thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for being a part of the Chiro Hustle family. And thank you for being a part of the Chiro Sushi family, because that's how we all bonded back there in May. And the Chiro Sushi movement was something that brought so many great minds in chiropractic together that otherwise wouldn't have been on the same path together. So thank you to the Schaub family and Dan Golden and Ryan Bones for what they did for the chiropractic profession by starting the Chiro Sushi Summit.
Yep. And it's going to be great next June, I think, is the next one. So if
I'm
nothing
sure
else, I'll see you in Vegas next year.
I'm sure it won't be hot in Vegas in June.
Right. And I'll throw that back at you, Jim. You're one of the best people I've met in chiropractic. And, if we live closer, I'm sure we'd enjoy a couple beers every now and again on the back porch, but a little too far for that.
Well, have a great rocking day. I know you got a busy practice that you're going to get up and running, and I'm going to go schedule in about 10 people for their first chiropractic visit today.
Nice. That's awesome, Jim. Love it.
All right, Shawn. Well, have a great rest of your day, and keep Chiro hustling, brother.
Yep, you too. Bye.
See you.